Hello, welcome to the weekly wind-up with myself, Emma Kirke. You may remember a show we aired last year with Dave Beal, talking about how he was setting up a fundraising project in the name of his young son that had tragically passed away. Mr. Beal is joining us to share some very exciting updates and an amazing progress that's underway. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Emma. Yeah.
So, if for anybody who missed the show last year, can you just give us a quick update on what you're doing and what the charity is about?
Okay, so the DB12 Foundation, as you said, was set up in memory of Dani, my son, who died last June. So we're just coming up on the anniversary now. So it just came about. We had an idea that the sort of kid Dani was, he had a lot still to offer, even though he'd gone. Mm-hmm. The sort of nature that he was good at everything, but he also strived very hard to bring out the best in his peers. So as captain of his rugby team at school, or as a classmate, or as a friend, he was always trying to bring out the best in other people. And what we thought would be a fitting legacy for him to keep his memory alive would be to have some sort of organisation that did that went into schools and delivered those sorts of messages. And as sport was Dani's real passion, we decided we'd do it through sport, and my background in sports coaching made it seem like a really good fit. Mm-hmm. So the DB12 Foundation, what we do is we go into schools, we do sports coaching with kids during the PE and games lessons, and we concentrate not just on technical elements of the sport, but also on the values and attitudes that make good sports people. Mm-hmm. One of the things it's based on is how the All Blacks say, good people make great All Blacks. Yeah. And so, it's the idea of coaching the whole child. So we work a lot on values and attitudes, and getting those across through sport in an enjoyable way where kids really take these messages on board. And what we do at the end of the sessions is we sit them down, we have a bit of a plenary session with them where we say, okay, this is what we've done today, what have we really learnt about teamwork? And the kids give their answers, and then we say, okay, so what can you do with this in your classroom to make teamwork better mm-hmm. within your classroom?
To make it applicable to life, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is we're looking to influence the kids' behaviour across the whole curriculum by making the link between success in sport and good values, mm-hmm. and how that can be exactly the same in the classroom, outside the classroom, whatever it is mm-hmm. they're up to.
And you have got actually now full charity status, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah, that was signed off at the end of April after we'd kind of tortured ourselves over it a little bit to try and get the application just right. And people kept saying, "Well, it takes about 3 months to get it done." And I was going, "It's April and we haven't got it yet, and it's going to be summer before it gets." And so I whizzed it in, sort of mid-April, 15th of April-ish, and within 5 days it came back saying, "Yep, signed off, fine." So we took the extra time. We must have done a really good job on it. Because they signed it off like that. So yeah, official charity status.
Has it changed how people perceive what you're doing at all?
Not that I've noticed yet, but it will do. I'm absolutely convinced of that. I mean, it is much better to be able to say to people, we are a charity. And because straight away they understand that you're operating within certain parameters, that there are certain regulatory requirements that you're fulfilling, and then you're not just some fly-by-night guy who's just had this idea mm-hmm. and is just doing it out of the back of his car, sort of thing.
I'm sure you're not out of the back of your car, but so tell me some of the events that have happened, because I know obviously there's quite a lot.
So last time we spoke, we'd just done our Not Dry January event. We talked about the drinky event that we had down at the Magic Rock, which was hugely successful. So we've been. We had there's Dani's old primary school did a coffee afternoon and they donated all the proceeds to that. But we've been working towards a really, really big event, which is in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks on Saturday. And that's our charity bike ride, mm-hmm. which I am foolishly doing and having originally, having originally said, you laugh it up, Emma. Having originally said we'd do 50 miles, I managed the trustees to shame me into doing 75. So we're doing 75 miles. We're calling it the Tour de Dani, and we're starting in Halifax at his school. We're going all around West Yorkshire, visiting places where he played football, where he played rugby, where he watched sport. So it's up into Keighley and down the Aire Valley and up into Leeds, Headingley, Elland Road, Morley, and then back and finishing at Huddersfield YMCA, where the finish line will be. And at 3 o'clock, we're starting our what we call Daniversary Midsummer Party. So we'll have stalls there and food, and there'll be some music on, and families can just come along to that and turn up and donate whatever they feel like giving. We're not charging set amounts or anything like that. There'll be events that people can do. There'll be crossbar challenge and things that they can have a go at. And it's just about them getting together, having fun, because that's what Dan was all about. finding out more about what we do
Yeah.
by talking to our stall holders who'll be there and be able to fill people in on what we're about, and helping us raise a bit of extra money. And the finish line for the bike race will be there, so what I'm hoping is that as the 20 cyclists come filing across the line, there will be a sizable crowd there to cheer them on and give us that last bit of instruction, and probably in my case, help me off the bike. help me into the changing room so I can get a shower.
What time do you have to be there by?
The thing starts at 3 at the YM, so...
Okay, so you have to have arrived by then, do you?
No. The cut-off time for the bike ride is 5 o'clock. Anybody who's not going to finish by 5 o'clock will just get swept up by the broom wagon and brought along in the bike, but in the back of that, sorry. So I'm hoping to arrive not too long after 3. Having set off at about 8 in the morning, I reckon sort of 7-ish hours would be round about good for that, with a couple of stops, yeah.
So how have you been into a school and have you had feedback?
I've been there this afternoon, and yesterday, the first sessions yesterday in Moorlands Primary up at Sallandine Nook. So we had 2 Year 5 classes there yesterday afternoon, bags of enthusiasm and definite, straight away from looking at my session plan afterwards and saying, okay, did we hit those goals? Being able to identify for all the main goals that I set that I wanted to hit, the perfect examples of kids that hit those things, that would displayed the behaviours that we wanted to see, that we've been able to draw the rest of the class's attention to these behaviours. So yeah, and it was really good. And then 2 schools in Oldham today, a little bit of a mixed bag, schools with a lot of issues, a lot of challenging pupils, but I particularly wanted to do schools like that. I could take this programme and go and do it in independent schools where the kids wouldn't say boo to a goose, you know, and that would be easy, but it wouldn't be reaching the people that it needs to reach. So we went to these schools in Oldham, and it was very well received. And the kids, from what I'd been told about their behaviour, the kids didn't behave anywhere near as wildly as I'd been led to expect they would. And I think that's probably because they engaged with the process and were enjoying themselves and were sort of switched onto it, which is good.
So if schools wanted to get in touch with you to have you come into a school, how do they do that?
They can get hold of us by phoning me. So my phone number will be on our Facebook page, website, which is just in the process of being set up now. They'll be able to contact us through our Facebook page, which is DB12 Foundation, our Twitter feed, which is Doing It for Dani, and our website, which will be db12foundation.org, and that'll be coming very, very soon. And all the relevant contact details will be on there. But what I'm also hoping is that word of mouth through people in the teaching profession will start getting around, and that's how we'll be able to get some people coming in. But I am also going to do some work towards the end of this term on lining up some schools to go into in September. So going around and actually seeing schools, and now that I've seen how it works and I'm starting to get some feedback from schools, I'll be able to have a more powerful message to give schools to get them to give it a try, because that's really all we need. I'm confident that if schools give this a try, they'll like it. They'll like the messages that we're giving, and they'll want us to come in. So yeah, all
exciting
good.
Future.
Absolutely, yeah. And I you know, thinking back to just under a year ago, I can't believe where I'm at. I really can't. And people say to me, I don't know how you get out of bed in the morning, but I have to do for this. And really, actually, in the aftermath of Dani dying, this was all that I knew how to do. This was the only way I knew to respond, was to do something positive with it, because I could lie in bed all day and feel sorry for myself. But that would be pretty awful, to be honest, and it would be letting him down. So I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm sure all the schools are going to be very grateful for the fact that you are doing it as well.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
So just quickly, if people want to get in touch for fundraising, is it exactly the same as...
Exactly the same way, the Facebook, Twitter, and when it's up and running, which will be very, very soon, via the website, and all the relevant contact details will be on there. Fundraising events, we have just giving pages up for the bike ride, and so can I let you have those, and can you
Sure.
give those to people? That's great. If people want to donate for the bike ride, really would be grateful for that, and it doesn't matter how little an amount it is, because every little helps.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to me.
Brilliant,
it's been great
really
to have that
appreciate
update as well.
Thank you very much.
That's all we have time for today. If you wish to discuss this or any other topic you see on KLTV, our social media and contact details are on the screen. I'm Emma Kirke. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.